Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Artur Beterbiev's next fight has been announced. He is going to be fighting on January 30th against German light heavyweight Adam Deines. For the record, Adam Deines has a record of 19 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. This fight is going to take place in Moscow. So this is actually the first time Artur Beterbiev has fought in his native country as a champion. Now, this fight, I'm not sure whether this actually is an IBF mandatory. Originally, Artur Beterbiev was supposed to fight Fan Longmeng. Fan Longmeng, I believe, got injured or something like that. And then the IBF went down en route and they came to Adam Deines for Artur Beterbiev to defend his title against. I'm presuming Adam Deines is still a mandatory defense. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on with that situation. As you guys know, I'm a big Artur Beterbiev fan. I would say, well, he is my favourite fighter in the sport of boxing right now. I really enjoy watching him fight. I love his style. I'm a big Beterbiev fan. I always have been. I've been a believer since day one. However, this fight is extremely disappointing. Adam Deines, I would say, is a European level fighter. He's a southpaw who does the basics well, but you know, there's nothing special there. No great speed, no crazy power. You know, he's just like a middle of the road European level fighter. So the level of opponent for Artur Beterbiev, I really can't see this being a challenge whatsoever. And that's disappointing as far as I'm concerned. I know this is a mandatory, I get that. But Artur Beterbiev is now 36 years old. He really needs to get a move on and make a push for the big fights in 2021. He needs the winner of Joe Smith Jr. versus Maxim Salamov. You know, he needs to try and unify with the winner of that fight. He needs to try and fight Dmitry Bivol, who's got the WBA title. These are the sort of fights Artur Beterbiev needs right now. These are the legacy building fights. These are the fights that, you know, will really highlight his talent as a top fighter. But as I said, time right now is not on his side. 36 years old. He does have a career history of injuries. So yeah, I mean, ultimately Beterbiev needs to get this fight out of the way on January 30th. He needs to look good doing it, not pick up any injuries, don't make it a harder fight than it needs to be, knock this guy out in quick fashion, and then hopefully for the rest of next year, we see Beterbiev in some good fights, because I've got this feeling that we've already seen the best of Artur Beterbiev, and I don't think this guy's ever really going to realise his potential that he once had as a fighter. When this guy turned pro, I was extremely excited. Excellent amateur, of course. Actually beat Alexander Usyk once in the amateurs, but he was a great amateur who, in my opinion, always had a pro style. And, you know, he's shown some great things in the pros in 16 fights, but he's just not fought enough, he's not been active enough. He made the wrong decisions promotional-wise early on in his career, and he's also picked up a lot of injuries. And I wonder, by the way, are some of these injuries down to the way he trains? Because, to me, he looks like a guy who lifts a lot of weights, Artur Beterbiev. But yeah, there's been certain things that have kind of, you know, really kind of hindered his career. And yeah, it's resulted in him being inactive and not having got the fights in which maybe his talent deserves. So yeah, when you see Artur Beterbiev in this sort of fight, especially considering how little he fights, it really is disappointing. You know, I would love to sit here and say Artur Beterbiev is fighting a real top opponent. You guys need to watch this. Adam Deines is great, but the reality is Adam Deines is not close to being a top 10 light heavyweight. He's European level at best, and yeah, providing Beterbiev has 60% left, he's gonna smoke this guy like a bag of weed. You know. So yeah, I'm disappointed. This was the fight that was always going to happen. But yeah, it's not a great fight. In fact, Artur Beterbiev's original mandatory opponent, Fan Longmeng, would actually be a better opponent than this guy, because Fan Longmeng actually beat Adam Deines. He actually beat Frank Buglioni, for whatever that's worth. At least he's beaten a guy we actually know about. At least he's beaten this guy, Fan Longmeng. So yeah, disappointing for Artur Beterbiev. You know, like I said, when this guy turned pro, I was so excited. I expected big things, but it's not really panned out. Yeah, he's got that exciting fight against Callum Johnson. He beat Alexander Vodzik, who was a great fighter in my opinion. But I just expected a lot more from Beterbiev, and it's not really happened. And as a big fan of a guy, as somebody who's always kind of championed Beterbiev as one of the best in the world, I've got to say I'm disappointed. I really am. And I believe in 5 years' time, when this guy's career is done, I believe we're going to look back on Artur Beterbiev with a lot of intrigue and question marks, because we never really found out how good this guy was. That's what I think the feeling on Peterb is going to end up being. But yeah, hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe this guy can go on a long time. Maybe he can defy age and fight for a few more years. That could be possible. I know he's had injuries, but one thing about Peterb, he lives a very strict lifestyle. No alcohol, no boozing, no partying. He's a very devout Muslim, and he takes his faith seriously. He takes the sport seriously, always in shape. Maybe that can actually help him in the long run, you know, to basically prolong his career. But I hope that's the case anyway, because Peterb, as far as I'm concerned, when he's firing on all cylinders, is one of the best fighters to watch in boxing, and full stop, he's just a real good fighter. But yeah, my initial thoughts are disappointments, but I'll be intrigued to hear your thoughts below. Maybe you guys think I'm being harsh on this one, but, you know, I just got to call it how I see it. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Del Boy, peace.